precisely 6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by Danushka Madhavala and read by Sharifa Tahir. Headlines. Kolamthata Sarasavi Uyana housing complex constructed for the low-income people at Polhengoda will be declared open to the public today under the patronage of the minister. The dengue epidemic has become the main public health issue in the country. Law will be added to the school curricula from the year 2023. The time period to inform the composition of gas in a domestic gas cylinder given by the appeals court to Litro Gas Company will be ended today. The first phase of the 15th Census of Population and Housing in Sri Lanka 2021 is now nearing completion. Sri Lanka to develop 9 attractions as sustainable tourist destinations. News overseas, US surpasses 800,000 pandemic deaths. Local news in detail now. The government says 192 families who were relocated due to the expansion project of Kalani Valley Railway Line will be given new houses free of charge. The new apartment complex Kolamthata Sarasavi Uyana, consisting of 528 houses constructed for the low-income people at Kalingamawatha Polhengoda Colombo 5, is to be declared open to the public today under the patronage of the Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. This low-income housing project has been constructed by the Urban Development Authority based on President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's Vision of Prosperity policy statement. 2 buildings, each consisting of 192 apartments, have been constructed and 1 building with 192 houses have been given to the families living in Kalingamawatha who have been given the lands for this housing scheme on a concessionary payment scheme. 1 million rupees will be charged from a family and the concessionary amount can be paid in installments within 10 years with no interest. The building with the remaining 192 houses has been given free of charge to the unauthorized occupants who were evicted during the expansion of the Kalani Valley Railway Line. Out of the total 528 houses, 144 houses are to be given to the University of Colombo to be used as a hostel for 800 students of the university. The gross value of one house in this housing project is around 7 million rupees. It is built at a cost of 1.9 billion rupees. Law will be added to the school curricula from the year 2023. It will be implemented in parallel with the new educational reforms. The Parliament subcommittee appointed in this regard has agreed to add the law as a subject. The proposed new educational reforms will pave the way for students to complete their university education early and become graduates in their early 20s. Necessary steps in this regard have been taken by the Education Ministry along with the other stakeholders, including the Commissioner General of Examinations. The time period to inform the composition of gas in a domestic gas cylinder given by the appeals court to Litro Gas Company will be ended today. The court gave time when a petition requesting to take legal action against distribution of unsafe domestic gas cylinders was taken up yesterday. The petition has also requested to take action under criminal law against responsible company and state officials. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation giving you the news. We continue with more stories here at home. The first phase of the 15th Census of Population and Housing in Sri Lanka 2021 is now nearing completion. It will be conducted under 23 stages. The second phase will commence by June next year. Census of Population and Housing in Sri Lanka is conducted every 10 years. The census provides the demographics, geographical distribution, ethnic distribution, and demographic and social characteristics of the population, as well as qualitative and timely data and information on housing at the Grama-Niladhari divisional level required for the formulation and planning of national policies. Minister of Tourism Prasanna Ranatunga says 9 tourist attractions selected to cover all 9 provinces of the country will be developed as sustainable tourist destinations. The project is being implemented with the support of the United Nations Development Fund's Biodiversity Financing Initiative. Sigiriya Sustainable Destination, Pilikuttua Local Heritage Destination, Vanathavilluva Gagevadiya Destination, Ellavala Ella Nature Destination, Vavalpane Limestone Cave Destination, Delft Island, Madunagala Hot Springs, Panama Villages, and Mihintale are the 9 destinations. Meanwhile, promotion of Sigiriya and Yala National Parks as the first eco-friendly sustainable tourist destinations free of the use of plastics has already been started. The minister said that achieving the Sustainable Development Goals is a program stated in President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's Vision of Prosperity Policy statement. Accordingly, this sustainable destination development will be implemented. And that's local news for the moment.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The Epidemiology Unit of the Health Ministry said 762 people were tested positive for the virus yesterday. This brings the total number of confirmed cases of coronavirus reported in the country to 576,194. As many as 545,768 recoveries and 14,661 deaths have been confirmed in Sri Lanka since the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. More than 15,700 active cases in total are currently under medical care, official figures showed. The Director General of Health Services has confirmed 20 more coronavirus-related deaths for December 14th, increase in the death toll in the country due to the virus pandemic to 14,661. According to the figures released by the Government Information Department, the deaths reported today include 10 males and 10 females. 2 of the patients are between the ages of 30 to 59 years, while 16 are in the age group of 60 years and above. The remaining 2 were aged below 30 years. That's the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
On Watchlight, the dengue epidemic has become the main public health issue in the country. 25,916 dengue patients have been identified by November this year. 19 deaths were reported. The Ministry of Health has planned a joint national program with the relevant sectors to prevent the risk of dengue menace with the active monsoon rains further. Several proposals have been submitted by the President in this regard. Cabinet approval has been received to implement these proposals.
Coming up, World News.
World News headlines: US surpasses 800,000 pandemic deaths. The WHO says Omicron probably is in most countries. Malta becomes first EU nation to legalize cannabis. We move on to world news in detail. More than 800,000 Americans have now died from the coronavirus, the highest national death toll from the global pandemic. It comes as the U.S. reached 50 million confirmed cases of COVID-19 on Monday. Most deaths have been recorded among the unvaccinated and the elderly, and more Americans died in 2021 than in 2020. The U.S. is again seeing deaths rising at an alarming rate. The last 100,000 deaths came in just the past 11 weeks, a quicker pace than any at other point aside from last winter's surge. The World Health Organization has warned that the new coronavirus variant Omicron is probably already present in most countries around the world. Cases of the heavily mutated variant have been confirmed in 77 countries. But WHO Chief Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said it was probably in many others that had yet to detect it and was spreading at an unprecedented rate. Dr. Tedros said he was concerned that Omicron was being underestimated. The Omicron variant was first identified in South Africa in November, and the country has since seen a surge in infections. President Cyril Ramaphosa has tested positive for COVID-19 and is currently isolating with mild symptoms. Finally, on world news, Malta has become the first EU country to legalize the cultivation and personal use of cannabis. Adults will be allowed to carry up to 7 grams of cannabis and grow no more than 4 plants at home. But smoking it in public or in front of children will be illegal. Several other nations have similar plans, such as Germany, Luxembourg, and Switzerland. Countries like the Netherlands tolerate cannabis use in certain circumstances. And that's on World News.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take all out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
And on development news, Ceylon Electricity Board General Manager M.R. Ranatunga said no power cuts will be experienced hereafter as the Norachole coal power plant is fully functional now. He said the power plant is supplying 300 megawatts of operations at full capacity. Therefore, he said there is no need to have any power cuts.
Development News was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Moving on with sports news.
Manchester City tore Leeds apart with an attacking masterclass to increase their lead at the top of the Premier League to 4 points. The defending champions were at their scintillating best as they racked up their biggest victory of the season and moved further clear of Liverpool and Chelsea, who both play on Thursday. In truth, City could have had far more than their 7 goals, such as their total dominance and the ease they repeatedly ripped through the visitors' increasingly ragged defence. Phil Foden opened the scoring after 8 minutes, following up after Rodri's effort was saved, although Stuart Dallas should have done far better with his attempted goal line clearance. That's on Sports News.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency through NSB U-Trust for 6 months consecutively. Send more money and increase the chances of winning.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Toyota has announced that it will extend production stoppages at some factories in Japan as it continues to feel the impact of supply chain issues. The world's largest car maker said its components factories in Southeast Asia had faced disruptions due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Land Cruiser and Lexus production will be hit by the delays. The company said that lost production from the latest halts will total about 14,000 vehicles in December.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners.
Economic news. courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
And on economic news, the UK government has said that all 11 countries will be removed from the UK's travel red list from 4 a.m. today. Angola, Botswana, Eswatini, Lesotho, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, Nigeria, South Africa, Zambia and Zimbabwe are on the list. The red list was reintroduced in late November as a precaution after emergence of the Omicron variant. But Health Secretary Sajid Javid said it had spread so widely the rules no longer had much purpose.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The weather report.
The northeast monsoon has established over the island. A low-level atmospheric disturbance is developing to the south of Sri Lanka. Showers will occur at times in the eastern, central and over provinces and in Madura, Hambantota and Polonnaruwa districts. Fairly heavy falls, about 75 millimeters, can be expected at some places in these areas. Several spells of showers will occur in northern province and in Anuradhapura district. Showers or thunder showers will occur elsewhere during the evening or night. Fairly heavy falls, about 75 millimeters, can be expected at some places in these areas. That's the weather update, and back to the headlines before we wind up the morning bulletin of news. Kolam Sarasavi Uyana housing complex constructed for the low-income people at Polhengoda will be declared open to the public today under the patronage of the Prime Minister. The dengue epidemic has become the main public health issue in the country. Law will be added to the school curricula from the year 2023. The time period to inform the composition of gas in a domestic gas cylinder given by the appeals court to Litro Gas Company will be ended today. The first phase of the 15th Census of Population and Housing in Sri Lanka 2021 is now nearing completion. Sri Lanka to develop 9 attractions as sustainable tourist destinations. And on world news, US surpasses 800,000 pandemic deaths. And with that, we conclude the morning bulletin of news.